How's it, punters? Welcome back to BSBZA, and in this video I'm going to be ranking some of South Africa's top online betting and casino sites in a tier list. I'm going to be looking at things like what they have to offer in terms of deposit bonuses, promotions, slots, casino games, quick withdrawal times, general user experience, that sort of thing. I've got a few different tiers here, starting at amazing. These are God tier betting sites. These are sites that you have to have an account at, going all the way down to the Sies category, which is sites that I would say you probably generally want to avoid for one reason or another. Let's get into our tier list rating. Okay, starting off with Goldrush. Goldrush have a pretty decent deposit offer. You get up to 90 free spins, but you have to unlock them with deposits and spins. They've also got a deposit match bonus. They've got some pretty decent casino games. They don't have much in the way of sports betting, though. I want to say they're a B-tier betting site. They need to include slots like Habanero. I think that would move them up a bit. Some more daily promotions, weekly promotions, that sort of thing. But I think B is pretty fair. It's between B and C, I want to say, for Goldrush. Next, we are going to go with 10Bet. Now, 10Bet are pretty interesting. They've got 100% deposit match up to 3,000 Rand. They've got a good mix of games. They often come out first with the new pragmatic play games, which is why I do like to use them. There are a site that I do use simply because of that. They've got an okay selection outside of that. They don't have the widest slot selection, but if you're a pragmatic play fan, I do think they're a good betting site. They're pretty new as well. They've been around for, I think, just over a year now. And they've got a pretty good sports selection. I've got to say that. They've got decent promotions. They've got cashback offers. So I'm going to put them ahead of Goldrush over here. I don't think they're quite A-tier level yet. I think they're well on their way there. But they just need to add a few more casino games, I think, just to bump them up a notch into that A tier. Next, we have Easybet. Now, Easybet have some fantastic pragmatic play promotions. They've got a 100% deposit, 150% deposit match up to 1,000 Rand. They've also got, I think it's 25 free spins and a 50 Rand sign-up bonus when you sign up. Plus, guys, the Easybet promotions are fantastic. They really do have some brilliant promotions for players. The site is decent. I wouldn't say it's quite as good as something like 10Bet, but it's pretty solid. However, it is missing Habanero games. They've got pragmatic play games, they've got evolution games, they've got a good mix of casino games. They also have a very good sports betting product. So they're definitely a site that is kind of between A and B. Their promotions though, guys, the promotions really put them through there though. So I think I'm going to put them in A. It's kind of like a lower A. So if we have any other sites in A, I'm probably going to put them ahead of Easybet. If Easybet can just get Habanero games, I think it would be like a one-stop shop betting site. It'd be fantastic. Withdrawals and deposits options pretty good as well. So I think I'm pretty comfortable putting them as like a low A, like a B plus almost. Next, we have Lottostar. Now, personally, I'm not a big fan of Lottostar. I've got quite a few issues, which I'm probably going to go through in a bit. Lottostar, they don't have a deposit match for one, which I think they're probably the only betting sites on this list that does not have any sort of bonus at all. They have a good set of Habanero games. I think they've got probably one of the best selection of Habanero games. They also come out with the latest Habanero games, which is great. The deposit options are very good. Lots of deposit options. The site's easy to use. They've got lots of lotto betting, scratch cards, those sort of things. The withdrawals, though, that's where I really have an issue with Lottostar. Their withdrawals, they make you wait quite a while for their withdrawals. That's the first issue. The second one is you can cancel your withdrawal. You can reverse it. And that's something I generally don't like to see, especially when your withdrawal is going to take a couple of days to be processed. So what happens is you put in a withdrawal on like a Friday, and then you've got to sit the whole weekend looking at that, being tempted to reverse that withdrawal. It's a bit of betting psychology that these betting sites use to kind of stop you from making that withdrawal, and you can rather lose that money on the site. I don't want to put them too low down because they do have a solid product. They are the first ones to come out with Habanero games, but they don't have any sports betting. They did have sports betting a few years ago. So I'm struggling to put this one on the list, to be honest. Pragmatic play games they don't have. I'm gonna put them in C tier. They're very popular. Of course, they're very popular. I think I'm going to catch lots of flack in the comments about this. But for me, it's just their withdrawals that are a big issue. Their kind of lack of variety when it comes to slots. Look, they do have Ruby Play and a couple of others. Also, no deposit bonus. Nothing to welcome new players. Yeah, I think C tier is actually pretty fair for Lottostar. Betcoza are the next one on our list. They're pretty new. I think they've been around 9 months now, and I'm sure guys in Cape Town have seen that play.co.za playing fly around with the banners, bet on slots, that kind of thing. Pretty cool marketing that they have. They've got a first deposit match up to 9,000. I think it's one of the biggest on this list. The site is really cool. The site's actually really nice to use, but it doesn't have as much as I'd like it to offer. It's got pragmatic play games, it's got evolution, it's got bet games. It's got some sports betting on it as well. The sports betting product's not great. It's almost there as like a side thing. So I think I'm going to put that just below Lottostar. CT. I think Lottostar is probably a better site. I think once Play gets some more kind of slot games, Habanero, some of the others, Ruby Play, etc., they'll be a lot better. And they might just move up into that B tier. So they've got the potential there. They've also got some decent promotions. I get lots of SMSs from them saying, 100 Rand slots bonus. However, these are bonuses that you have to spend to unlock. So I don't like getting messages saying, hey, you've got 100 Rand slots bonus, but it's actually a bet 100, get 100, which is still pretty reasonable. It's still a decent promotion. But do I put them ahead of Lottostar? I don't think I can. Lottostar, they've just got so much right on their site in comparison to Play. But Play the sites are actually so similar. So I think I'm gonna leave them in C tier. I think that's the right spot for them. Next up, we have Jackpot City, a brand new site. They've got a 100% deposit match up to 4,000 Rand. I believe their welcome bonus is actually a 4,000 Rand welcome bonus with little extras added onto it. They're a very interesting site. They've taken all of their best Habanero, pragmatic, and those kind of things, or slots providers, and they've made a really compelling package out of it. I think they've got some of they've got the highest potential of any of the sites on this list because the upside is going to be so big for them. But they are new. They don't have any sports betting. They don't have any promotions at the moment. So I'm just going on what they currently have, and what they have is. It's not as good as Lottostar and it's not as good as Play, but I do think in like a couple months to a year, they're definitely going to be up in that B tier, possibly even A tier list, simply because of the fact that they've got all the best slots. You've got Hot Fruit, you've got Gates of Olympus, you've got all of those things. So you've got Aviator as well. So they've taken all of those things and made a really good package out of it. I think they're a solid C tier. I think is a fair spot for them. But as I said, the upside with Jackpot City is going to be massive. Next up, Hollywoodbets. Hollywoodbets have a 50 Rand welcome bonus plus 25 free spins. They don't have a deposit match offer. During special promotional periods, they will do a 15% deposit match up to I think it's 3,000 Rand or something like that. But Hollywoodbets, everyone knows them. They've got one of the best sports betting products in South Africa. They've got so many deposit and withdrawal options. They have all the games. I honestly think Hollywoodbets have the best selection of games in South Africa. Casino games from Evolution, Pragmatic Play, Habanero, Bet Games, Aviator, the works. There's so many different slots available on Hollywoodbets. Their withdrawals are also lightning quick. If I make a withdrawal from my account to EFT, it's usually in there a minute or two after I've clicked that withdraw button. Hollywoodbets are, I think, the GOAT of South African betting sites, and there's no other place I can really put them up in other than amazing. They're probably if there's one account that you need to have in South Africa, it's probably a Hollywoodbets account. Look, I do have a couple issues with them. The withdrawals I've been struggling with after 12 o'clock at night. All the EFT goes down, but you can still withdraw using cash send, but that's limited up to 3,000 Rand. But all of that aside, I think they are the most compelling betting product at the moment. Look, the site could be a little bit better, but they have improved it so much over the last 2 years. I think for about 6 years, they were really stagnant. The site was actually, I think it's even more than 6 years. I want to say even 10 years that the product didn't change. And over the last couple of years, they've done a lot of good work on the site. They've also got data free, all of that stuff. So I don't think I can put them anywhere else but in amazing. Next up, we have Sunbet. Ooh, Sunbet. Sunbet are a site that, had so much potential when it launched. It moved over from a site called Vault.co.za many years, VaultBet from many years ago. And it just kind of lost its way. It's more like a site for MVG players or players that go into the Sunbet or the Sun International Casinos, Grand West, those kind of ones. It's not a bad site. They've got pretty cool sports betting. But my problem with Sunbet is they tend to limit players very quickly on the sports betting side. So you'll find that your bet will get limited to like 200 Rand a bet on rugby if you're winning, which is very frustrating. I can't use this site anymore simply because my sports betting account is so limited there. It's not worth it. And the slot selection is okay. The sports selection, as I said, is excellent. The promotions is a 100% deposit match up to 1,000 Rand. I think that's still running. It's a decent offer. Their ongoing promotions, they've got lots of sports promotions, not that many on the casino side. So it's quite difficult to rank this one. I want to say they are better than Lottostar, but Lottostar still has a better product. So, I want to say they're almost even with Lottostar. I'm gonna put them just below Lottostar there, on C tier, solid tier, decent side to bet with, but as I said, that sport thing is a real hiccup. Next up, we have Sportingbet. They've got a 100% deposit match up to 3,000 Rand. They've got one of the best sports betting products in South Africa. The site is amazing. It's like a level above everyone else when it comes to sports betting. They've got cash out, auto cash out, all these funky little features. Sportingbet really are a solid product. It's just the casino side that they let down quite a lot on. They've got the Aviator game, sure. They've got some of the Evolution casino games, but they don't have things like Habanero. They don't have pragmatic play. But if you're a sports better, I want to say Sportingbet's going to be the site for you. If you're a casino player, probably not. Also, just to mention with their deposit bonus, I think you get up to 300 spins on their casino. It's difficult to rank them as well. I'm going to say they're better than Lottostar thanks to the sports betting. They've got an app as well. I'm gonna put them below Goldrush. Actually, I want to say they're a little bit better. I think they're about the same as Goldrush when it comes to kind of overall package. I think if they just got Habanero and they got even if it was just Habanero or even just pragmatic play game, I'd definitely put them in the A tier listing. Look, the withdrawals aren't as quick as other sites. They do have lots of ongoing promotions though. Lots of casino and sports betting promotions and lots of little cool features and functionalities around them. So I think solid B tier, definitely worth using Sportingbet. I used to use them a lot for my sports betting, so I definitely recommend. If it was just sports betting on this one, A tier, no doubt about it. But the casino product, I think, just lets them down. Next up, we have Lulabet. Lulabet are fairly new. They've been around for about, I think it's like 2 years now, maybe a little bit longer. They've got a pretty decent site. They've got some nice offers. I think you get it's bet 200 Rand or bet 500, get 250 for sports players. Bet 250, get 100 free spins. Bet 50, get 25 free spins. They've got a couple of different offers for new players. They've got a pretty compelling sports betting product. It's not the best out there, but it's solid enough. And lots of ongoing promotions. They used to have some really good ones, some ones that I think lots of slots players in South Africa took advantage of. They don't have Habanero. They don't have pragmatic play, but they do have Aviator. They do have the Evolution slots. So I think that they're like around the same as Lottostar with the ranking. But their sports betting does make them a little bit better. So I think I'm going to rank them above Lottostar. It's difficult again. So I want to put them B tier. I think B tier because they've got sports betting, because they've got welcome bonuses, because they've got a reasonable selection of slots games. Also got Light and Wonder and some of the newer ones. So I think I'm going to put them around the same as Sportingbet. I think that's going to be the best spot for Lulabet. Their withdrawals are pretty decent. The times are pretty decent on that as well. The site's fairly nice to use. I think that's pretty much all I can really say about Lulabet. World Sports Betting, that's next. That's a very difficult one to rank. It's like a poor man's Hollywoodbets. They've got a pretty good sports betting product. I think they've got more, like almost as more markets than any other site. Their odds are pretty reasonable. They've got a very decent deposit match. I think it's still up to like 10,000 Rand or something. I think they've got an even bigger one for casino players. They've got games like the Aviator, they've got Habanero, they've got Pragmatic Play, they've got Evolution, Bet Games. They've really pumped their side with some of the best kind of products out there. The deposits are pretty good, deposit options. Withdrawals are pretty decent as well. I personally don't use them all that much. One thing I don't like about World Sports Betting is you've got two different wallets on there. So if you want to, say you've made a deposit onto World Sports Betting, you need, say it's 1,000 Rand. You need to move that 1,000 Rand from your sports wallet to your casino wallet and then back to withdraw and that kind of thing. And I think that's a little bit like, it's a few too many steps. I don't know why they just don't integrate it into one wallet to make it easier for players. The site's okay. It's a little bit dated now. But I think they refreshed it a couple of years ago. It's a lot better than what it was. It's a pretty good betting site. I'm going to say it's an A-tier betting site. It's not one that I use all that much. I'm going to say it's better than Easybet just because they've got a much better selection. They've got so many games to choose from. Fantastic offers like Easybet. So as much as I hate to do it, I think they definitely are an A-tier betting site and one worth having an account with, to be honest. They've got so many sports promotions as well. So if you're like a combination of a sports and casino player at World Sports Betting, I think you're going to be pretty happy having an account there. Next up, we have Gbets. Gbets have a 25 Rand sign-up bonus for sports players. They've got a 1,000 Rand deposit match bonus. They used to be one of the best betting sites in South Africa. But for those of you who don't know, the kind of Goldrush and Gbets are related to each other. They're both owned by the Goldrush Group. And I think the Goldrush Group has done a much better made a much better offering with the Goldrush Casino. And that's why I think I'm going to put Gbets. The site's nice to use. It is a little bit dated now. The withdrawal deposit options are okay. I'm going to put them around Lottostar. They're better than, I think Sunbet are probably better. So I'm going to put them after Sunbet, but better than Play. There's lots, it's just very average, I think. And I can see what they're doing with the whole process, kind of moving all the casino players over to Goldrush, because Goldrush is just better in my opinion. But definitely not a site that you have to have an account with, but I think it's a site that many players are pretty happy playing on. Next up is Supabets. Now they've got a very decent welcome bonus offer. It's 100 free spins, it's a 50 Rand sports free bet or bonus, as well as a pretty decent match. I think it's a 100% deposit match up to 1,000 Rand. They've got a good selection of games. They've got a decent selection of sports as well. My issue with Supabets is while they've got games like Aviator, Pragmatic Play, Habanero, Evolution, all of that, they don't have the widest or the best selection of those games. Look, they've added a lot more slots providers, so they do have a lot more on offer than they used to in the past. But they just don't have the widest selection of those games. Also, when they came out, when the games come out, they generally tend to be very expensive to play. I remember like Pragmatic Play starting at like 10 Rand a spin or something like that. I do believe they've fixed that since then. It's a site that I tend to go to every now and again, but it's not one that I find myself on all that often. Withdrawals and deposits are okay. I've had issues trying to withdraw with them. They want FICA documents, they want this, they want that. This is after I've already FICA'd my account, so not too impressed with that. I think they are better than Lottostar overall. Actually, I'm gonna put them a bit higher. I'm gonna put them higher than Lulabet because they've got a much wider slot selection, but then again, that selection is lower. They've got a good sports betting product. The site's a bit clunky to use, so I'm tempted to drop them down to C tier. But they've got good bonuses. The withdrawals are a bit of an issue though. But yeah, I think that's a solid kind of B tier betting sites. I think I'm happy keeping them there. On to Playabets. Now, Playabets are another good site. They've got the Aviator. They've got, they don't actually have Habanero. They've got Pragmatic Play games. They've got decent offers. They've got a 100% deposit match up to 2,000 Rand for new players. The site's pretty nice to use. They're always working on it. They're always looking at adding new things. They've got lots of nice betting features as well. Good promotions. As I said, decent site, nice deposit and withdrawal options. I just can't put them too high up. I'm going to put them below Sportingbet because they don't have habanero games. They don't have the widest slot selection. I think that's my biggest issue with Playabets. But otherwise, they are a very solid site. I'm not going to dwell too much on them. I think most of you guys probably have an account there already. Let's move on to Yesplay. So Yesplay actually have a fantastic betting site. Man, these guys have done so well recently. They've added so many new slots games, so many different like deposit and withdrawal options. I think their deposit bonus is like 100% match up to 1,000 Rand, or was it 3,000 Rand now? Either way, it's a pretty decent offer. But what sets them apart is the site is so slick. It's very catered towards like casino players. I think they did have a sports betting product in the past, and then it came and then it left, or whatever the case is. They don't have, you know, all of the features that some of the other sites have, but I think it's just got such a good overall product. It's what Jackpot City are going to be in a couple years time. All the best slot games, you know, Pragmatic Play, Habanero, Aviator, all of that stuff they've got. And this is going to be a controversial one over here, but I'm going to say for casino players, they're A tier. I'm going to say they're A tier because they're always adding new things. They're creating so much more new stuff around you know what's already a solid base of casino games. It's so nice to use them. The withdrawal times are okay. Deposits are decent. I do know there are a couple guys that have had some issues with them, but then people have had issues with pretty much every one of the betting sites on this list. So yeah, I think I'm going a little bit controversial here by putting Yesplay in A tier. I think I'm going to be catching some flack for that one, but I do think they're definitely a site to play with if you're a casino player. Just such a good selection. They really have put a lot of thought into what they have on offer. Next up, we have SuperSportBet. I mean, SuperSportBet, just straight off the bat, it just seems like a cash grab. Like you've got SuperSportBet, they're already making so much money with SuperSport, and now we've got SuperSportBet. Like, is it really necessary? They keep changing their deposit offer. First it was a deposit match up to like 200 Rand. Now it's up to 1,000 Rand. They've got a decent sports selection. Nothing special. The casino selection, not great either. It's mostly evolution games. No new kind of slot games. Lottostar have a way better selection. Jackpot City blow them out the water with their casino selection, but of course Jackpot City don't have sports. Ongoing promotions, it's okay. I just don't see the need for us to have SuperSportBet, to be honest. And this is gonna be the first one that I'm gonna put in a D tier list. I just don't think it's worth having the SuperSportBet accounts and giving more money to SuperSport, who already have so much money. So yeah, I'm going to put them in D tier. Look, it's probably lowest C tier. I would want to put them... I can't put them higher than Jackpot City because Jackpot City for casino players is just awesome. Playa.Bets even have a better selection than them. Gbets, yeah, Gbets are still, I think, better than them. Sunbet are way better. So yeah, I think it's going to be the first one that we put on D tier. Just not really worth opening an account with. Not Sies, they're not terrible. Look, the site's pretty nice. It's pretty good. Look, they are new, so they're going to be coming out with new things, but they don't have games like the Aviator and all of that. Also, they're licensed in the Western Cape. A little bit crazy, I think, on their part because it's so difficult to get games approved by the Western Cape Gambling Board. It's going to be a while until we see SuperSportBet kind of improve their product. I think eventually they're going to end up in a solid B tier list, but they need so many more casino games. They just need a lot more on offer. And their social media teams also just, yeah, it's really not good. Like, I don't know if you guys saw I posted on Instagram. They just don't reply to me. So yeah, it's a D tier for you, SuperSportBet. Next up, we have Betway, another GOAT when it comes to South African betting sites. Betway have 100% deposit match up to 1,000 Rand for sports players. They have 100% deposit match up to 2,000 Rand for casino players. They've got the Aviator, they've got Habanero, they've got Pragmatic, they've got Evolution, they've got a bunch of different slot games. They've got an app that you can download. The site's very easy to use. Code sharing, bet sharing, deposit options, promotions, all of those things they've got. They're definitely up there with Hollywoodbets. I don't think we need to go on too long because they're definitely an amazing betting site to use. They're up there. Are they better than Hollywoodbets? I don't think so because Hollywoodbets have... It depends what you're looking for. If you're a sports player, I'm probably going to want to say Betway is going to be better than Hollywoodbets for you just because it's easier to use. It's much more natural to use, that kind of thing. But if you're a casino player, Hollywoodbets has got more selections. It's got more games. I think the bet size is even is even like better. When I say better, I mean this. You can start at lower stake sizes, like 20 cents a spin on some habanero games. You can't do that in Betway. It's a little bit more expensive, and I just think Hollywoodbets overall are slightly better than Betway. I think if you had Hollywoodbets and you combined them both, you had like the Betway site with everything Hollywoodbets have, you'd have the perfect betting site, because withdrawals are quick, deposits are quick, they've got pretty decent promotions. So it's very hard to separate the two, but I'm going to say they're just that smidgen lower than Hollywoodbets. Next up, we have Bet.Coza, another site that's been around for a long time. I personally don't use them all that much myself. They very much focused on sports, but they have pivoted to casinos. I think their bonuses now are 100% match up to 1,000 or 2,000 Rand. I stand to be corrected on these, of course. It's an okay product. It just hasn't really evolved that much over the years. It's a little bit stagnant. The offering is okay. It's just not really one that you want to play on if you're a casino fan. If you're a sports bettor, they're probably like a solid B. But overall package, I think they're better than SuperSportBet. So I'm going to put them down in D tier list just because it's a little bit meh. It's nothing special, not all that much going on there. And yeah, but better than SuperSportBet, but very similar to each other, I think. But I'm going to give Bet.Coza the edge here. Alright guys, well that brings us to the conclusion of my tier making list of South African betting sites. Number 1, Hollywoodbets. Down there at the bottom, we've got SuperSportBet. No sites making it to the Sies side of things, sites that you should stay away from. Now, I've only included on this video sites that are legal, they're all licensed, they're allowed to operate in South Africa. I actually thought I was going to have a few more in the Sies tier list. Look, SuperSportBet don't belong there, so I think it would be very unfair for me to put them there. I'm pretty happy with how things are looking at the moment. Look, let's just run through them, like Betway, Hollywoodbets, yes. So personally, I'd probably have Yesplay above World Sports Betting because they've just got a better product. But then World Sports Betting, they've got the sports. The other sports is going to give them the edge there. Easybet, I'm happy with. Look, Easybet, I feel, are in between A and B. They could be around here, but I think it's okay to have them there. 10 bets, I think very soon are going to be an A-tier betting site. They just need to make some improvements. I mean, the platform's good. Goldrush, Sportingbet, if they could just add more casino games and better casino games, they would definitely be an A-tier betting site. SuperSportBet, SuperSport's one that I like, also almost want to drop down to C tier just because of a couple issues that I've had with them in the past. But as I said, I don't want to get too subjective, even though this is a subjective list. Playa, I'm happy with Lulabet, Lottostar, Sunbet. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this list came out, and I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments if you agree with my list. I know I'm going to be catching a lot of flack for my ranking, but I want to hear how you guys rank your betting sites. Have you played on all these betting sites? Have you used all these betting sites? And I think it's worth using all of the ones that are amazing, even to C tier. D tier are ones I'd probably just stay away from because you don't need them. But Hollywoodbets, Betway, probably the two accounts that you only really need to have at betting sites. And yeah, well, that's where I'm going to wrap it up, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a good one. Cheers.